Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. In this one, we are talking about how to quit porn and take control of your life. Now, I, just like everyone else, am a human, and I know what place you're coming from if you can't really focus on something or concentrate or maybe work hard. So in this video, I'm going to be a bit more open-minded and more discreet and use some words that might make you uncomfortable. As a teenager, I was always imagining myself or thinking about my future adult self as a guy who would be strong or smart or intelligent and making money and traveling and hopefully making a difference in the world in my own way. So mostly I would be thinking about these aspirations and positive things. But also as a kid or as a teenager, you don't really know some things about adult life. And one of them is going to be, just shooting a very basic example, it's going to be, for example, cooking. I didn't know how to do that or how to deal with the freedom that you're given. I would say that almost until you're 18, your life is scripted. Someone has given you a clear-cut guide on what to do with your life and what to do basically with your time, right? But then when you become an adult, there are some things that you really need to learn and master. And one of them is going to be how to talk to people, how to communicate with your peers, or I don't know, maybe in college. However, what I see nowadays is that kids and teens nowadays, they are mostly, can I say, internet-based humans? I don't know if I can put it that way, but still they are mostly spending their times watching stuff on the internet. But my point is, there are some things that you simply are not going to learn if you're always going to spend time with your phone. I mean, if you think of it nowadays, even to approach somebody and start conversation is kind of considered to be weird and creepy. Like nobody's even calling each other or talking face to face. Everyone's on their phones, right? So this leads to kind of a big deal. And by that, I mean social anxiety and people being very uncomfortable with their appearances and insecurity and comparisons, you name it. Overall, people are bombarded with cheap entertainment, and one of them is going to be porn. So porn is such a thing that you basically don't pay no price to achieve. You don't have to work hard or do your homework or do something to achieve it, right? Like as funny as it sounds, and I know this is kind of funny, but still, porn is something that is cheap and free, and you can basically access it whenever you want. Somebody's offering you a free lunch. Think twice before accepting that, because there's gonna be a catch. Yeah, you might say, okay, there's nothing bad, but you know, it's cheap, it's free, so whatever. However, the price that you're gonna pay is probably gonna be your mental health or clarity or your mindset, brain fog, and all these patterns that you can follow or that you can notice after you watch porn. There are tons and tons of reasons why you should stop watching porn and why it can be harmful for you. At the same time though, I'm not saying that watching porn is particularly a bad thing. I'm just saying that if you're coming from a place of scarcity, probably this is not a good thing to do. Maybe you're using this as an escape mechanism to basically not take responsibility for the things that you have to do. And instead of that, you just opt into cheaper solutions to get fast bursts of dopamine. Because I mean, if you think about it, you get, and this is a scientific thing, if you can even look it up, if you want to, for example, get this much doses of dopamine, you have to, for example, work out this much, right? But watching porn can give you this much dopamine by doing nothing, just like this. And that's the problem that I have with watching porn. Because before it was like, okay, whatever, doesn't really make too much sense to be restricting yourself. But now, whatever comes to you, cheap or free, usually comes with a price. It might not be your money, might not be your time, might not be your energy, but it's gonna be one of the any resources that you possess in your life. But now, let's get to the point. How do you actually stop watching porn? In my opinion, there are no magical pills to take. The most effective thing is gonna be the simplicity. I stopped watching porn because of a mental thing. It was less about physical and spiritual stuff. I think NoFap and watching porn kind of does affect how you perform at the gym and what kind of results you see. Or spiritual, like religion or anything like that. It was more like a mental thing. And by mental, I mean, I always envision myself as a man who is very focused and ambitious, and in a way doesn't really want to make some cheap stuff get into the way, right? I don't want this type of things to distract me. For me, to stop watching porn meant 10xing your confidence. How do you consider that somebody has high confidence or self-esteem? You probably watch how the person talks or speaks or walks. So for me, to stop watching porn meant to be a fucking badass, mentally healthy guy instead of a semi-loser who struggles to keep up with anything that he's doing in his life and doesn't have his shit together. I can put it this way. A boy falls into the mental trap and wants to get gratification right now. A man, though, realizes this is a mental trap and would much rather delay gratification for the future, for it to compound over time than to have a cheap and fast pleasure right now. So when you stop watching porn, that's gonna be the day when you're not dependent on female nature, on female beauty. You're not easily distracted by whatever there is about this girl, which is beautiful or hot or whatever. I mean, I do understand that this doesn't come easy. You really have to have some type of discipline or control over yourself to stop watching it. My point is, when you stop watching porn, you become a badass, confident guy who doesn't really want to be always needy of the female beauty or female nature. Another reason that basically makes me not want to watch porn is to realize that nobody truly feels fulfilled, happy, or proud about themselves. Like, have you ever met somebody who is particularly happy about this activity? Basically what I'm saying is that if you want to stop watching porn, you have to almost assign your personality to it. Because, for example, there's a difference between I drink alcohol and I am a drinker. Because you drink alcohol is just more like a thing that you do, but you are a drinker means this is your personality. This is gonna be tied to your personality and to your ego. And to stop watching porn, you have to be thinking about the mental stuff, thinking about the image that you have of yourself. So instead of saying, no, I don't want to watch porn, you can just say, I'm a guy who is in control of myself and who doesn't want to give up to his pleasures and his temptations. So when I do NoFap, I almost have like a more emotional or even metaphorical approach. So let's just imagine I'm this young warrior who is trying to build his career or build his physique or body, and he is bombarded with these ads and with these suggestions and pleasures and whatever from all four sides. And then I take my sword and basically crush these temptations and then take control of my life. Now this sounds like a more poetic or a metaphorical approach, but still it kind of helps to imagine this stuff in a more emotional way than to talk about all the 1,000 logical reasons why you should stop watching porn. Science has already proven some stuff. There are reasons why you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol or watching porn per se, but things don't really make too much sense in our brains when it's about logical stuff, because our brain is very emotional. You have to tie your personality to whatever you're doing. So by refusing to watch porn, I almost become close to my ideal alter ego self, who is smart and intelligent or spiritually grounded self. So again, we could talk about tons of reasons why you should stop watching porn, but we are emotional creatures. If you don't have emotional reasons why you should stop watching porn, you're pretty much guaranteed to fail in keeping it up as a lifestyle. I hope you find this video interesting and helpful, and I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. See you in the next one.